Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
BBC News presenter Rich Preston has encouraged people to learn CPR after trying to save his neighbor's life. The broadcaster shared on social media that he was alerted to his neighbor needing help and spent 45 minutes doing CPR on Thursday morning. Rich's neighbor sadly died, but he has urged others to learn CPR and help those who may need it in an emergency. The presenter took to X to share the sad news with his followers after the deeply upsetting event. He said, "I spent 45 minutes doing CPR on a neighbor this morning. Sadly, they didn't make it. And this tweet isn't about me or the neighbor. It's my regular encouragement to please, if it's not something you've done before, considering learning CPR. I remember being taught CPR in school aged 10. I thought every school kid learned it until I realized that wasn't the case. It's training I kept up my previous job and in my current life, and I've had to use it several times, including successfully. I remember being taught CPR in school aged 10. I thought every school kid learned it until I realized that wasn't the case. It's training I kept up my previous job and in my current life, and I've had to use it several times, including successfully. Of course, the saddest part of events like this morning is always those who are left behind. It's deeply upsetting for family members to arrive and see their loved one being worked on by ambulance crews and a total stranger. I'm thinking of them today." He urged those who are trained to sign up to emergency services app Good Sam, saying he was alerted by London Ambulance to help his neighbor. "I arrived just as a response paramedic did, and the two of us were able to work together to do our best for the person," Rich explained. He went on, "You can never be certain of the outcome, but that's the nature of life sometimes. We tried our best. But the fact remains that starting chest compressions and getting a defibrillator on someone as quickly as possible can make a huge difference." The British Heart Foundation has a 15-minute free training course to learn CPR with Revivar. The London Ambulance Service also hosts free training events teaching people the skills they need. Of course, the saddest part of events like this morning is always those who are left behind. It's deeply upsetting for family members to arrive and see their loved one being worked on by ambulance crews and a total stranger. I'm thinking of them today. Signposting followers to where they can be trained to use CPR, including the London Ambulance Service, St. John Ambulance, and the British Heart Foundation, he added. It is so simple and doesn't take long to learn the basics. You might need it one day. Landlords are imposing an utterly ridiculous rule on tenants, but it's perfectly legal. Inside the Victorian boathouse that's just sold for twice the price of a UK home. Inside Downing Street's many makeovers, with a mirrored gym and £2,000 wallpaper. Mum transforms rented council house into Brat's shrine despite threat of £7,000 fine. These home improvements could actually wipe thousands off your property value. Rich is a senior news journalist at the BBC, often seen on BBC World TV and heard on BBC World Service. More, stars of much-loved Aughts TV series reunite 23 years after BBC show began. More, BBC Euro 2024 presenter Mark Chapman gives tearful on-air tribute to John Hunt after family killed. More, Gary Lineker in line for major BBC snub with presenting Future in Doubt.